Sorry, Carrie, I'm moving this up a little bit. Hi, everyone. My name's Sean. I've got two pieces for you today. I was really inspired with the concept of the event for today on the enduring power of mom, whatever mom might be. And mine was kind of a force of nature and trying to encapsulate her in any way through poetry, through writing, through wild hand gestures that I inherited from her. It's pretty hard. And so these two pieces kind of capture her actions and her words. And so this first one is called Clack, and the second one is the one-way call. Let me scroll through my phone and make it awkward. My mama wears a tasteful heel to chemo. Nothing too extravagant, but they do click-clack down the hospital runway every time she clocks in for a shift. My mama grows straw flowers and spiderwort and astilbes, blue-collar hands and green thumbs caked in dirt under the July sun. She is fairly certain that purple and yellow is the right combination of colors for this year. She's right. My mama is so powerful, her own cells are trying to overpower her. Think about what that means. Her body is too hardcore for her body, and that's why she is full of platinum and things I only remember hearing about in AP chemistry. My mama gets so mad in traffic. She will lay into a slow driver in the fast lane like someone bet her $5 she couldn't make Deborah in the Kia Sedona cry in 20 seconds. Mind you, my mama wouldn't make her cry, but she's just so powerful she knows that she could. And that's enough. I wonder if her oncologist has ever thought about having her just tell the cancer what she thinks about it. My mama is the kind of mama to let you have a tantrum and know the right time to tell you it's over now, so go clean yourself up. My mama hopes your mama has a wonderful day. I was once an improbable mass of cells growing inside her, and what a marvelous curator. She hoped for me and I hoped for her. I hope that this new child ends up differently, ends up leaving, ends up ending, ends up taking away all these bills that monetize my mama. My mama is a hospital. No, she's not. She's an apothecary. Her cures are purple flowers with canary earrings, and there is no copay, no over-the-counter. My mama is not a generic. When I was 10, my mama and I watched as my dog chased a rabbit out of a PVC pipe. Howling echo woofs into the plastic cavern, and we laughed so hard, a belly laugh. She held herself up in the doorframe because it was too much, and she lived. She lived. My mama lived, and she lives, laughing down to her core, surrounded by the most beautiful balloon flowers and trumpet vines. My mama is my best friend, and she probably would be yours too, so you should probably try adding her on Instagram. She probably won't approve it, but you can try. We live in a whole world of mamas out here sweating for their children and their could-be children, and I just want to let you know that my mama would have loved to have had you as a child. Like when my stepbrother was up for sale so his mama could buy meth. Like when my half-sister's mama didn't know what to do with her. Like when my friend's dad choked my friend out because of whiskey and feeling broken. My mama was ready to take them all in. And now, I want to take her in. I cannot fix what is happening in her tissues, but I can remind her that deep in there are cells I could lock myself in. Cells that changed lives, that created lives, that live. And oh, do they live? So this next one I cooked up this week as I was sitting with the concept of today, Mom always says, and a topic that's come up in my classes. I teach high school Spanish and social studies just down the street from Carrie. And we were talking about artificial intelligence the other day. This conversation was mostly about how stop turning in essays that the AI wrote. I want to hear from you. But the conversation deviated a little bit into the voices that are generated by AI. How a lot of people are able to pass off writing as their own that was generated by AI, because AI does a pretty good darn job nowadays, but it is pretty easy to pick up on the fact that a computer voice you're hearing come out of TikTok or a YouTube video is generated by a computer. There's something authentic with voices, and that is almost your fingerprint of voices and how powerful that is to know that it can't be replicated. So this one's called One-Way Call. 8 voices you want to hear, or maybe need to hear, or maybe have to hear. 1. They say sometimes you open your mouth and out spills your mom. You, a big-mouth child of a big mouth, seem to always have something to say. You can hear her asking you where you learned that word. You know that one word that Mrs. Sedmak said you were using in second grade and had to call home about? You know exactly where you learned that word from. See, your mama wielded vocabulary like a howitzer. Or maybe a bouquet of flowers. Or a mace, and maybe you inherited the knighthood from her. You agree that there are sometimes words to only use sometimes, like salt. You don't like salt, so you stop saying the sometimes words, too. One time you hear your mom's voice get loud, and then your dad's voice get loud, and you turn up the TV. Things are a little hard around the house right now, you've gathered, but it's a great time to rewatch a show, so you do. Couple dynamics are above your pay grade at 8 years old, and you know years later that those loud voices come from a place of wanting to be better, wanting to do better, but for now, you just wait until you can turn your TV up and get back to Are You Afraid of the Dark 3. The call from mom at school when you're too sick or too sick to go to gym. She asks if your tummy hurts and you say, a lot. And she says, so bad you have to come home? And you say, yeah. And she says, if you come home, you'll have to help me in the yard when you feel better. And you say, gym sounds fine. She's calm and collected and knows the game you're playing because she probably played it too for. When your mom tells you there's an envelope in the mail from the college you applied to, the only college you applied to, and that probably you should open it, but maybe you should wait until dad comes home, her voice is light and unbothered. Anxiety is a shared meal, and she knows your plate is already full enough, so the envelope sits on the counter, and she fills the air with her thoughts on landscaping and Grey's Anatomy and travel and the rain and the laundry and anything to keep your mind off of the envelope. 5. You are holed up in your room for the 1,000th time in a row on a teen internet forum complaining about how hard it is to be a 9th grader. You can hear your mom from the backyard laughing. She's laughing with her friends at their after-dark girls' margarita and pool party. You go out to grab some of the snacks undetected. Your mom is by the laundry room door, drying off with her friends, and spots a spider as large as the palm of her hand. Paula, on margarita number 7, smashes the spider with her bare hands, and everyone screams. Except your mom, who laughs once and goes, I think you got him. And it was at that moment you realized what people meant by comedic timing, and you hoped you'd inherit it at 6. Somehow you managed to find a VCR, which is as likely nowadays as finding Jimmy Hoffa. And you push in the cassette labeled 1996. The cameraman is unknown, and that's okay. It's your birthday. You're an only child, so it's a whole ordeal. Somehow you remember the day clearer than the VHS tape, which has become blurry over time. The cake is out on the table with candles lit. You somehow are the only child in the zip code whose favorite cake was carrot cake. And the crowd gathers for you to wish. You hear her voice say not to tell anyone your wish. You blow out the candles. You do not tell anyone your wish. 7. She has no voice left. You are 4,000 miles away and you're on speakerphone to her. The hospice nurse wants you to know that last night was rough and you should probably tell her all the things. The call is a one-way call. You tell her about her story. You tell her that she is the hero of yours. You tell her she did such a good job and it's okay to clock out of her shift if she needs to go, and it's quiet. Quiet for the first time. 8. You saved a voicemail on your Google Drive. It's from your mom, asking you about your day and all the things you're doing in your day job, which she probably didn't care too much about, but liked hearing you share all of the highs, the successes, the news about that one coworker who she remembers you told her won't stop hitting reply all on the emails. She asked you to call her back whenever you have a second, and you probably did, maybe a day later than planned, but always knowing that at the other end of the call would be waiting for you, your best friend, and that everything, absolutely everything, would be okay.